Life is Strange Double Exposure is traumatic because of the things that are done to the characters in it, if that makes any sense. We play as Max again, and this is the first time we have seen her since she was forced to make that impossible decision in Arcadia Bay. And the game makes you remember that instantly. Remember what you did, how even 10 years later you are still living with the consequences of what you did, the choice you made with either the lives you destroyed or the life that you destroyed. And I think that's so hard for me because I don't want to remember it. I don't want to remember one of the hardest decisions I've ever had to make on a choice-based game. I don't want to remember what I was forced to do, what the game, that beautiful story, made me do. And Max doesn't want to either. I know that week was one of the best weeks in her life, but you can see so much of what it has done to her. How that week, that trauma, that time has taken a toll on her, made it to a point to define her in a sense. How 10 years later she still has run away from every single place she has been to, but in one night she gets reminded instantly of it. This is not only a shock to us, but a shock to Max, and it shows us again that Max has never, and maybe will never, have an easy life. She will constantly be in torment from the things she has done in the past or the people that she will lose in the present. This whole game, this whole story, reminds us in similar ways of what Max has gone through and how it had made her who she is today. She is closed off from Vihn, Amanda, Moses, or even Safi. We see very early on Safi admits to not knowing much about her because she is afraid to open up again. Because of what if she opens up her world, her life, her heart, herself to someone just for the world to take them away again. She has that fear, so she is guarded, but she thinks and tries to open up and about her past, about herself, and when she does, she is reminded why she shouldn't, why she won't. When Safi dies, we see Max break again, not only with losing a friend, but also reminded of the people she had already lost. I think this game is so important of Max because it is making her face her hardest challenge again, making her face what she has already had to go through before. And I think there's a beauty to that, a beauty of trying to say we won't know what is going to happen next, a beauty of trying to say anything could happen, but in the same way, we know Max knows deep down the decision we might have to make again. The choice that life is going to throw at us again. But Max, through one more time, we see things are different. This time Max has the gun, sure, but you can say she had the gun last time too. She had the choice then, and she has the choice again to decide what will happen with Safi. But when she finds this place, this other time where Safi is alive, we see such a relief. She kind of stays out of their other timeline where she's gone all the time because she doesn't want to face the realness of what happened over there. And can we blame her? I know with the people I've lost, if there's a place I can go where they were still here, I would do the same all the time. I think any of us would. So it's not so crazy to me that Max becomes obsessive about this, about keeping her friend alive, because she has all the power, all to change, all to do something different, to save another life, her friend's life at that. And when it gets revealed with the photo of the gun that she might be responsible for why her friend is gone, you see she immediately is determined to change it because this is who Max is. She is a hero. She is super Max, willing to save anyone she can, no matter the cost, because it's the right thing to do. It's what I love about her, is she is willing to sacrifice so much to save everyone, to save anyone at all, especially Safi. I think this game works for me so much because I like Safi so much. She is someone I want to fight for, someone who I want to keep alive, someone who I want to save, and someone who I don't want Max to lose again. But this story, it's not just about Max reliving her trauma, but it's about Safi coping with her own event, trauma, grief, passing, or death. Safi's friend Maya died 1 year prior to when we are playing as them. So imagine all we had seen from Max. That was 10 years ago. Imagine just 1 year. What Safi is going through, the pain she is in, and the pain that the more people around her, the people in her life that are supposed to love her and care for her, be there for her, are actually the ones against her. The ones that you can blame for the pain she is feeling, the pain that is happening to her, is from them, from her ex, her teacher, her mentor, her mother. I would be pissed too. So it's right that she is. and we feel it. We feel that anger, that fear, that frustration of not being able to trust anyone, not even wanting to be yourself. She struggles to even know if she could trust Max because she has been hurt too many times. So she didn't know if Max would just be another person on that list. And even when Max tells her, or shows her, reminds her how much she loves her, sometimes people are just so hurt that the only thing that works is time. But time is not the thing they have. Time is not on their side because, like she saw 10 years ago, Max is about to lose a friend because of something she is being made to do. I love how you can go from the dead and alive timeline. You can see what others are going through, how everything looks different on the other side, showing the impact not only because she had, but that anyone could have. I think it shows so much of how Safi is feeling on the outside to the inside, the alive timeline being what she has to show, the fake smiles, the parties you have to go to, the people you have to be around, but the dead timeline, how she truly feels empty, broken, upset at the world and the people in your world and what they did to you, what they took from you, or more like who they took from you. But when she finds Max, or really when Max finds her, but they realize how similar they are because of their powers, it's such a nice feeling because not only do they find each other as friends again, but so many times, so many things making sense for them again, but they find unity, find it in each other because they realize they're not alone anymore. They are alike because, yes, we know they aren't alone in having powers because of people like Daniel or Alex, but they don't know that they think in this world they are alone. They are some kind of freak, monster, different, broken, wrong, to having one another and understanding each other. And the time they use to work together is the happiest we see them in this game because of the way they make each other feel, knowing that no matter what life gives them, they're not alone in doing it. But Safi still has this hatred, this anger for a person who has ruined her life, but also she still has that fear of being outspoken, about saying not only what she thinks, but how she feels, and about being herself. This fear of her not being good enough, not or people will leave her, not want to be around her. But with Max, we help her, inspire her to speak up, to speak out against all the wrong things as herself, not as anyone else, but by using her own voice for it. And I love the idea of her not only finding herself, but finding her voice, her confidence to be herself. But that memory, that anger of the people taking her friend's life, that pain that they gave to her, the plan and get help, but it doesn't matter because when you realize that the person they took from you, the person who has made you feel this way, the person you can blame for all of this being your own mother is crazy to me because I don't want to believe it, but Safi is forced to find it, forced to face it, and what she can do about it. She has taken down or gone against the people. She is now forced to into a position where she has to look in the eyes at the one who hurt her. Safi standing there with the gun pointed at her mom, screaming in pain and agony, just like we heard her cries before in the other people. It is such a vulnerability that we have not seen from Safi yet. We haven't seen her be this open, not only with her anger, but with her trauma. Even when talking with Max, she was guarded, scared of being betrayed again, being left alone again, but seeing this flood of emotions, this rush of feeling, and letting it control her, and inflicting her pain on the people so they feel what she has felt this whole time, showing how much pain she has been in, how much worry is stuck with her, and what her mom has done to her. And she's not the only one forced into a position from her past, a position of pain. Max has to make that choice again that has haunted her this whole time, but this time, save Safi or save Caledon.
What are you doing?
I love this because it is such a visual representation of Max choosing her own fate, choosing something she can do differently. This thing that has defined her, she won't let it control her anymore. We see her determination in full effect here because she won't be made by a time or a storm or life or the universe or whatever to do the impossible anymore. She's taking it in her own hands, but it comes with a price. Jumping into the storm, jumping into your past or the things you have had to do or the things you didn't do. It's hard for her, hard for anyone, because it's making you relive, rethink everything. Seeing Max be put in this state, in this place, to relive her trauma and relive not only the best week of her life in one way, but in many ways it being her worst week, was a pain, because we know not only what it did to her in the moment, but what he did to her in that moment. But we have seen for so long what it has done to her and the toll that it has taken on her, not only with how she does things now, but in a way of who she is. And it is painful that someone with so much power to be put in a position again of feeling powerless, of feeling stuck, like she can't do anything, being reminded of the horrors of her past and what she wasn't able to do, wasn't able to escape from, having that fear coming rushing back to hurt her, to play as because of what it means to her. But like she says, she's not a kid anymore, and seeing her fight back was showing us one final time that our Max, this person we have been following, has grown up, has become stronger, not only with her power, but with herself, with who she is and what she can do. And I love to see it not only for me, but for what it means for her. But you still know you're doing the right thing, still doing what a hero will do, what Max always does, be a hero. I believe truly, I believe Safi can be a hero too. She can do the right thing, but she has been hurt too many times, hurt by the people she cares for, people that she loves and should love her back. And she has lost too much that you see she wants to do things differently, wants to change things in our world, make the world a better place, be there for someone when no one was there for her, when she'd rather be anyone but herself. But Max knows she doesn't really think this way. Her friend is just hurting. Her friend is just in pain with everything that has happened to her. Max sees this not only because it is happening to her friend, but it has happened to her before. And so hearing Safi describe them as
Fucking divine.
Come on.
I'm serious. The shit that we can do, gods can do that stuff. Or monsters.
breaks my heart, and it breaks Max's too, because a little part of her knows Safi might kind of be right, might have a point on why they are different, why they have been set aside, put in this difficult position, made into something different. But even if you are different, and Max, I think even before Powers, has always been different, she still does the right thing in saving her friend and telling her that she will still be here for her even when her mother looks at her like a stranger and she has the chance to run with her, to leave. But just as Max threw the gun in the storm, found a way to save everyone, she shows that she's not running anymore. She knows that she's done running, and she's not taking that or dealing with these things alone anymore. I love this because it shows the difference in trauma and how these two dealt with it, where we have already seen Max run away from it or try to hide it, and how Safi is doing that now, but we now see Max facing it, jumping into it, as she jumped into the storm and coming out of it whole. Okay, so I want to talk about the moment when Safi and Max are in the storm and they're talking through the past places that they've talked to throughout the entire story. Also, I don't have a script. This is like just off the dome, so if I ramble, like, that's that. Um, I want to talk about specifically the moment where she says like we're fucking divine, and Max is like, come on. I think that kind of shows in that moment that Safi thought Max was exactly like her, thought that they were one and alike, one and the same. But the moment that she says it, and Max is like, come on, like we're not, we're just people. Like that, just this smile, this slight laugh, and the come on just says so much. And when Safi kind of doubles down and she's like, I'm serious, like this stuff we can do, gods can do it. And there's a pause. I can't really show it because I can only show 10-second things, but there's a pause where Max doesn't say anything, and you have Safi kind of staring, and she goes, or monsters. And they hold the look on her to, she's kind of looking around, but looking at Max to see what Max says, because she's kind of showing in that one little line, I guess I'm more alone than I thought. Yes, I found someone else with powers like me, but I'm still alone, you know? And X reaches out that olive branch, that hand to extend to tell her that, like, all this stuff, it's not real, but she's real and she's what matters, you know? And it's the same olive branch that Safi kind of offers Max later after they get out of the storm to say, like, hey, are you here for me? Like, are you actually my friend or did you just say it? Because she still has that fear of everyone letting her down, of everyone, like, leaving her, even though we know Max like won't leave her. You know, she still has that fear because, well, y'all know. Yeah. God, I love this game. I think kind of like how I said, True Colors is the most underrated game in the series. I think this one is the most overhated game in the series, just because I don't know. I think it's not what people expected, but I really like this game. I love the mystery aspect of it, but I love the consequences that we see these people deal with. I love seeing Moses sit with friends in the alive timeline, but then in the dead timeline, he sits alone. You know, I love the turtle being this jam-packed place in the alive timeline. I just love the color difference alone, how everything's so much brighter and happier. The vibes are just higher in the alive timeline, but in the dead timeline it's just different. It's broken. It's harder, you know. I think I think this game is truly special. I love not only the atmosphere of Caledon, but also just the mystery aspect of it all, of the what will happen next, what happens to Max next, and also what it does with Max's character, you know? How important it is for Max to have lived and learned, you know? How important it is for her to stay rather than leaving. We've seen her, I guess we haven't seen her leave for 10 years, but she's been on the run for 10 years, but to finally sit down, to have a place that even after this traumatic experience, she says she's here for you. She says she's not going anywhere anymore because she realizes she's not alone, you know? In the Bay, she was alone. In the Bay, she only had Chloe, and once Chloe's gone, she's gone. But here, here she has her family, her home, her people. I don't know. I just really like it. If you haven't played it, I really think you should play it. Not only do I think the visual aspects are very entertaining, but I just really like it. Yeah. Bye.